The Nile River, the longest river in the world, flows for over 6,650 kilometers from its sources in Central Africa to its delta on the Mediterranean Sea. This mighty river has been the lifeline of Egypt for thousands of years, shaping its history, culture, and economy. The Nile provided the ancient Egyptians with everything they needed to survive and thrive. Its annual floods deposited fertile silt on the land, making it ideal for agriculture. The river also served as a vital transportation route, connecting communities and facilitating trade. The Nile was not just a source of water and sustenance, however. It was also a powerful symbol in Egyptian culture and religion, representing life, fertility, and rebirth. The ancient Egyptians believed that the Nile was a gift from the gods, and they worshipped it accordingly. Even today, the Nile remains the lifeblood of Egypt. It provides water for drinking, irrigation, and industry, and it supports a diverse ecosystem that is home to a wide variety of plants and animals. The Nile continues to play a vital role in the lives of millions of Egyptians, just as it has done for millennia. The Nile River played a pivotal role in the emergence of ancient Egyptian civilization. The annual floods, predictable and life-giving, transformed the arid landscape into a fertile oasis. This predictable cycle of inundation and recession allowed the ancient Egyptians to develop a sophisticated system of agriculture. The fertile soil of the Nile Valley, enriched by the river's silt deposits, yielded abundant harvests of crops like wheat, barley, and flax. This agricultural surplus freed up a portion of the population to specialize in other crafts and professions, leading to the development of a complex society. The Nile also facilitated trade and communication within Egypt. The river served as a natural highway, allowing for the transportation of goods, people, and ideas. This interconnectedness fostered unity and cultural exchange throughout the Nile Valley. The unification of Upper and Lower Egypt around 3100 BC, a defining moment in Egyptian history, was facilitated by the Nile. The river provided the means for the pharaohs to control and administer this vast territory, laying the foundation for a powerful and enduring civilization. The Nile River was not merely a geographical feature for the ancient Egyptians. It was deeply intertwined with their culture, religion, and cosmology. The Nile's annual floods, so crucial to their survival, were seen as a manifestation of divine benevolence. The god Osiris, closely associated with the Nile, was believed to die and be reborn each year, mirroring the cycle of the river's floods. This myth symbolized renewal, resurrection, and the eternal cycle of life and death. The Nile's flow, from south to north, influenced the Egyptian concept of the afterlife. The east bank of the Nile, where the sun rose, was associated with life, while the west bank, where the sun set, was associated with death and the underworld. The annual flooding of the Nile was a time of celebration and religious festivals. The Egyptians would pay homage to the river god Hapi, offering prayers and sacrifices to ensure a bountiful inundation. The Nile's central role in Egyptian belief systems underscores its profound significance in their worldview. The Nile River was the economic backbone of ancient Egypt, providing the foundation for its prosperity and wealth. The fertile lands along the Nile Valley allowed the Egyptians to produce a surplus of food, which they traded with other civilizations. The Nile was also a source of building materials. The Egyptians used papyrus reeds, which grew abundantly along the riverbanks, to make paper, boats, and other essential items. They quarried limestone and granite from the cliffs lining the Nile Valley, using these materials to construct their magnificent temples and monuments. The Nile facilitated trade with distant lands. The Egyptians used boats to sail up and down the river, transporting goods and raw materials. They also established trade routes that connected them to the Mediterranean Sea, allowing them to exchange goods with civilizations in Europe and the Near East. The wealth generated by the Nile's bounty fueled the growth of Egyptian cities and supported the development of arts, crafts, and technology. The Nile's economic significance was central to ancient Egypt's rise as a dominant power in the ancient world.